Lesson 92, video part 1. So, please open your workbooks to lesson 92 and find part 1. You're going to have your balance beam in there. That's what we'll start with today. So, you're going to make the sides balance by adding one weight to the side that has less total distance. So, fix up beam A so it balances. And beam A right now has a weight on 5. A weight on the, so remember this is right. Ooh, no it's not. This is left. This is right. So you have one on 2 and one on 4. So, which side has the less total distance? The left side, because here you have 5 and here you have 2 plus 4, which is 6. So all you need to do is add a weight on 1 on the left side to make it balance. Problem B. You have a weight on the left side, you have it on 7 and 2. And nothing on the right-hand side. So which side has more weight or more distance? The left side, because 7 and 2 make 9. So what do I only need to add over here on the right-hand side? 1 on 9. Now it's even. You can do C and D on your own. Pause the video now to work them, because we are going to move into mixed number operations. So, on part 2 in your workbook, these are mixed number operations. You have to find the lowest common denominator to work the problems. Problem A says 13 and 5/6, I'll make this bigger. 13 and 5/6 minus 10 and 2/3. Can we work this problem the way it's written? No, we can't, because the denominators are not the same. So, let's make them the same. Let's set this up. So let's count out by let's skip counts by 6s and 3s till we get a matching number. Let's start with 6. We have, I'll do it over here, 6, 12, 18. Now let's skip count by 3s. 3, 6, 9. What do they both have? Look at that. They both have a 6. Only had to count by 6 once, so this is going to be 1 over 1. To get to 6 here, I had to count twice. So 3 times 2, there we go. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4. What kind of equation is it? Subtraction. Now you can solve. So, solving the problem, we know 13 minus 10 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1, 6. So together we have 3 and 1, 6 as our answer. I'll do one more with you. Problem B, 4 and 2/5 plus 15 and 1/4. Again, denominators are not the same, so let's make them the same. Setting it up. Let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. What number do they both have? 20. Just want to make sure this looks good. Yep. So, we know both are going to have 20 as a denominator. Let's check our work. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces there. So we know 5 times, this is going to be 4 over 4. 4 times what equals 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over 5. What's 2 times 4? 8. 1 times 5? 5. What kind of equation is this? Addition. Add them together. So, let's add our fractions first. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 20, 13 20ths, and 15 plus 4 is 19. Together, we have 19 and 13 20ths. Boom. You can do C and D on your own. Pause the video now to work them. Resume when you're ready to check your work. C should be 4 and 11 24ths, and D should be 12 and 7/10. Again, remember to reach out to me on the chat feature on Teams if you're having problems solving these. Okay, so let's switch gears to fraction word problems. Please open your textbook to lesson 92 and find part 1. So, with these 4 problems, A, B, C, and D, you divide to work these problems. Remember, you find the amount you have before you divide. Problem A. A bag has 14 pounds of sand in it. Sarah makes piles that are each 2/7 pound. How many piles does she make? So, what's the number you have before you divide? 14. And what are you dividing it into? 2/7. Problem B. Each cup holds 1/5 quart. How many cups can be filled if there are 3 quarts of water? So, what's the amount you have before you divide for problem B? 3. And what are you dividing it by? 1/5. Problem C. A cook divided a salad into 4 equal servings. There were 7½ pounds of salad. How much did each serving weigh? So, what's the amount you start with? 7½ pounds. And you're turning it into how many groups? 4 equal groups. All right. Problem B. Oops, not problem B. Problem D. A pie weighs 8/3 pounds. It is cut into slices that each weigh 1/9 pound. How many slices are there? So, what's the number you start with? 8/3. And you're dividing it into what? 1/9 pound. Now remember, when you're solving this, you don't actually divide fractions, you turn them into the reciprocal. So this is going to turn into 14 times 7/2. This is going to turn into 3 times 5/1. This is going to turn into 7/2 times 1/4. And this is going to turn into 8/3 times 9/1. Don't forget to label your answer. Pause the video now to work these problems. So, A, you should have 14 pounds. B, you should have 3 quarts. C, I'll have you do those on your own. So, let's move on. Find part 2 in your textbook. Find part 2 in your textbook. So, what it says here is these problems tell about related units. Each fact shows the number you multiply by. Problem A says change 3 years into seasons. What are the related units? Look at the facts. So, for problem A, it says change 3 years into seasons. So you're going to look over at the facts and it's going to say, look in here. Oh, the third fact says 1 year is 4 seasons. So what is our related units? Years and seasons. So find the fact that tells those, which is 1 year is 4 seasons. So what do you multiply by years? What do you multiply years by to get seasons? You're going to multiply it by 4. So problem A should be 3 times 4. B says change 7 minutes into seconds. In our facts, we have 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So your equation is going to be 7 times 60. I'll let you do C and D on your own. So, what you should have for answers A and B are 12 seasons and 420 seconds. The rest I'll check in when you turn in your work. All right, find part 3 in your textbook. Part 3 in your textbook has 4 problems. Read problem A. A says 8/2 times 3/3. What fraction are you multiplying 8/2 by? 3/3. Is 3/3 more than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1? 3/3 is equal to 1. So you will end with a fraction that's equal to 8/2. So if you're multiplying this by one whole fraction, this side is going to equal your answer. We've been practicing it being more or less than 1, but now you know if you multiply it by a whole fraction, 3 over 3, 4 over 4, 5 over 5, it's going to equal the fraction you start with. So let's solve it. We're going to wait to solve it. Sorry. Problem B is 8/3 times 4/3. Is this fraction that you're multiplying by more than 1 or less than 1? It's more than 1. So I'm actually going to rewrite this over here. So you have 8/3 times 4/3. And this should look like this. So, you know, down here, you're going to have an equal sign because this is going to equal your answer. Now this one over here, this is more than 1. So you know the answer is going to be greater. Problem C is 3/5 times 9/10. Is 9/10 more than 1 or less than 1? It's less than 1. So you know the answer, the number you had at the beginning is going to still be greater than your answer. So it's going to go this way. And problem D. Seven fourths times 5/8. Is 5/8 more than 1, equal to 1, or less than 1? 5/8 is less than 1. So you know your answer is your beginning number is still bigger. So let's go back and see what our answers would have been. Problem A is, you should have 24, 6, and this is 8. You just drop this number down on each one. But now you know 8 halves is the same as 24, 6. So, this is what you should have for it. Pause the video now to work the problems. Here's your answers. Just like so. All right. Please continue on to the next video for the remainder of this lesson.